I just want to say top of the day to everybody out there in the YouTube land, YouTube kingdom. This is Big Mike, your Silver Stacks prepper. I'm just here to cut open one of these Volcambi Swiss gram packages and kind of place them in some coin capsules because I wanted to touch on a couple, I guess a couple points, right? When you look at the internet or Wall Street Silver, you look at Lynette Zhang, Mark Moss. You look at a lot of people out there who um, have been in the silver game for a long time, like Andy Shedman. He's one of the 27 major dealers of precious metals in the world. And when you look at these people and you listen to what they're saying, they're talking about a currency reset. I mean, a lot of folks might not believe in that. They might not believe, oh, the world is, our monetary system is collapsing. The world is, the currency is falling. And, a lot of people think that that's hype. Looking at the COMEX, they were talking about the COMEX. They were talking about the various contracts like the U.S. Mint has with like Sunshine Mint. How they print 30 to 50 million silver blanks. Or excuse me, they supply the U.S. Mint with 30 to 50 million silver blanks. They were talking about the 100 to 120 million ounces that was gone in the first few months. That's normally gone in a year, the amount of silver that's sold from the COMEX. So there's definitely, the U.S. Mint claims a silver shortage. There's definitely a shortage of silver. I mean, the recent quote unquote pandemic, quote unquote epidemic, whatever it is you want to call it, the virus that hit our earth. Um, Folks couldn't go to work. Folks couldn't be in those mines together. I mean, so it did slow supply. And so, a couple of tips I wanted to talk about was that it did clog the supply chain in silver. The COMEX is being emasculated. People are demanding their silver, from these silver trust accounts, and they're demanding it. The awakening is happening. There's a global shortage because of the demand. There was already a shortage, but now the demand is just illuminating the fact that there is a shortage with silver. We have this Green New Deal. You guys have heard me talk about that before, and I'm sure folks watch, the news. Everybody's just as informed as I am. But these things are just things that I want to talk about because I love precious metals. And when you love precious metals, you have to realize that um, you're not gonna always be able to get this. You're not gonna always be able to get this. I go to up and down my whole state looking for silver. So I do. They know me throughout the whole state, or at least on the west side of the state for sure. Um, the thing is, you go to them, they got a lot of premium stuff, but that generic bullion or just like the kangaroos or various generic silver rounds. I got some silver here, some bullion here, sovereign backed bullion, and then just generic bullion. Um, Bullion is hard to get. The Green New Deal is a replacement of carbon based fuels with non carbon based fuels, right? So let's look back at history for a minute. The Industrial Revolution ran on coal, oil, gas, and charcoal. I mean, that was the type of energy services that were around at the time, or excuse me, sources that was around at the time, which caused the services to utilize those resources, right? So once again, we're talking about coal, oil, gas, charcoal. I mean, that's putting those gases in the air. That's creating other problems, right? So, but I was reading something that says, that they've learned to. Well, I know this because I'm a prepper and I got solar panels, and all this, and realize that all this is made out of silver. But we can capture energy from the sun and turn it into heat. Um, you know, we know how to now capture energy from the ocean and turn it into light. All this takes silver. Everything takes silver. I was looking at. Let me see. Let me go to something here. It says global silver production cliff, falling mine supply as precious metals become leading stores of value. So they're talking about. Let me see. As the world heads over the energy cliff, we're talking about the Green New Deal. It will negatively impact global metals productions. Thus, we are also going to experience a silver production cliff, which we're kind of already experiencing that. The industry is not prepared for the collapse of silver production, so it would be quite impossible to wrap up energy without enough silver. Um, if silver is already a short, I mean, if we're already having a shortage of silver, um, how the hell are they going to do all this, right? I mean, so I wrote something down and I said that, when they sent out those emails talking about to the consumers, the U.S. Mint sent out the consumers an email talking about, we're running low on silver. They're either trying to create a run on silver to create a rise in value or intentionally create a scarcity in the metals itself. This could also be to play on the minds of the country to create a form of FOMO, fear of missing out, right? I mean, so with the 120 million ounces that was gone in the first, you know, they say month, I'm going to say few months, um, they say that normally is the amount that is, taken out of the COMEX reserves for a whole year. We've depleted that in a month or two. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, there's a story about a back door of a 90 million ounces, running out the back door as they were scared that, they would lose their money. Um, I mean, the top mining companies are not producing as much. I think they said it's 8-1, which would put silver at, what they're producing is really, 8-1. So what silver should be worth, that what they're saying the mean would be, is about 250 an ounce. Um, that's just doing the math. According to something I watched on the Wall Street Silver, it was the guy Andy Sheepman, whatever his name was. I mean, it made sense, right? I mean, and I'm not one that you can just kind of tell me anything and get me pumped up. I'm not I'm not a tire. You definitely can't pump me up. I'm a thinker. I'm a critical thinker. So I got to tear it down and break it apart and really see what we're working with before we can move forward to try to put anything together. So with that being said, when it comes to the Green New Deal, the energy cliff of the Green New Deal, and how to negatively impact global metals productions, that's the truth, right? I mean, you can't get past that, right? These are people who, are not sheep. We're not sheep. We're not plugged into the matrix. We're not just willing to listen to anything the government says and willing to listen to anything that is printed, right? I mean, we're critical thinkers. We're independently intelligent, right? And so we have the ability to look at the things that the news are telling us and all these different, um, you know, mind caressing machines that they have through the media and determine truth based on research, right? So it just takes a little bit of, you know, digging around to really see, different lenses, different dispositions. I mean, it's a kaleidoscope. It all comes together to create the light that we need to see the truth with, right? And sometimes that takes a turn of a lens. It's like a kaleidoscope, right? A kaleidoscope is something that's multi-lens, right? If I'm looking at this silver round, right, or excuse me, silver gram through that lens, right here, and I had a different color on it, I'd see it with a different color. But if I turn that lens here or here and they had different colors, then I would be able to change and alter the way that you saw that silver gram, right? But the point is that it's a silver gram, no matter what color it is, right? So the same thing with the information that's being fed to us over, the media. It's still information, right? But you have to turn the kaleidoscope to find that right color of what it really is. And sometimes you got to remove those lenses because they don't add up, right? And so when you do a search or some research that combines various types of information and you compile it, then you can kind of create a picture. But yeah, research can be formed to create the type of picture that you want it to be. All I know, when you break it back down to the basis, is that if they're digging in the ground and they're pulling it out, we only got so much in the ground. At that point, we will be running short. As of now, there's a run on silver, right? The millennials, Wall Street Silver has really pumped up the awakening of folks that are, out there interested in getting silver and precious metals, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna say, back to what I was saying yesterday, like just continue to buy all your silver, right? All the silver that you think you need or that you want, continue to buy it. 40%, 20%, it doesn't matter. Silver's not gonna be around like that in the stores forever, right? I mean, there'll be people with silver forever, but I mean, the availability of it out of the rich folks who can just buy it all up. Like, how many? Um, ain't this beautiful though? Look at that. Let's just stop and take a quick look at this, right? I mean, this is beautiful, right? Look at that, beautiful silver. It's a beautiful thing. Look at that. That is beautiful. There go that kaleidoscope, right? Right. That's that kaleidoscope. But anyway, just make sure that you guys are doing your due diligence. You're really, studying this silver. You're really trying to figure out, what you need to do. What's the best you need to do with your finances for your family. Is your family okay with just putting your money in just putting your money in the bank as cash. What's best for you and your family. That's what everybody needs to be focused on, right? Is preparing for the future. We got to be like the squirrel, right? You got to prepare for the future. What's going on, what's going to be happening around the corner, right? If you don't know, then you got to figure it out. Um, and I don't know, you know. So as of now, I'm just being prepared. I'm like a squirrel trying to get a nut, right? It's my turn to stack it up. The winter's coming, right? And so that's what any of us would think that we need to do is stack it up, right? Um, so yeah, that's all I really wanted to do was just kind of come on and just kind of let people know, hey, the people that know, or, better than me, are saying that we need to really pay attention and really stack our silver. I think that's an important message that needs to be out there is that we need to stack this silver. Um, I really didn't want too much. I just wanted to kind of come back on here and let everybody know, how important it is to really start to get your stack on. I mean, this stuff is beautiful. I love looking at it. I love, touching it. Some people say, hey, don't touch it, put on gloves, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. At the end of the day, when everything breaks down and people want to barter, want to buy something, then that's cool. You can just clean it off and use it how you want to. Take some sandpaper and clean it off. Who cares at that point? Um, Something else I wanted to kind of just touch base on is, you know, get together with some people in your family, and try to go back to before the Industrial Revolution, right? Where people were, living on farms. People were, um, they were taking their time and growing fish. And speaking of that, my goal is to get 20 acres here, hopefully soon, and be able to, take a bunch of swimming pools and grow tilapia. If you guys don't understand about aquaponics, I would suggest that you guys look up some aquaponics videos. Me and my son we used to make those systems. Um, and I mean, it's cool. You can grow tilapia in 8 months. They can be plate size. You can go to Walmart, grab you about 5 or 6 of them 4 foot pools, them deep little 4 foot pools, and grow you. Put some fingerlings in there and grow you some fish. So when the damn economy breaks, or you you guys can't say you don't believe me. I mean, what just happened at the grocery store? Everything was gone during the little pandemic, right? So, what do you think is going to happen when it really hits the fan, right? You think that you're still going to be able to go to the store and just get anything you want? No, at that point, you're not going to be able to do that. So what you need to do is prepare now. Proper preparations. Come on, say it with me. Everybody knows my saying by now. Proper preparations leads to a better performance. So, grow you some fish, throw you some tilapia in there, buy you some babies, and just throw them in there by the hundreds. And just as they grow, they mate, they have babies. Man, you'll never run out of fish. It's like a food generator, and then the water, you can circulate the water through your vegetables because the nitrites turn to nitrates, and you can. And this is the prepper guy talking, Emmy, right? You guys know I'm a prepper, and so nitrites turn to nitrates, and then at that point, you got fish food. The water flowing through the beds, plant food turns to plant food, right? If you go into the hydroponic store and you buy fish emulsion, that's boo boo. Fish, urinated water and fish feces and that type of stuff. That stuff is fertilizer. They sell those for $50 a bottle in the hydroponic store for people that like to do indoor grows, right? So if you got 6 swimming pools outside that's 4 feet deep, you don't have to do too much. I mean, they kind of clean themselves. You can make a couple, get you some of those blue food barrels, and you'll be good to go. Make sure that you Google. Sorry, I keep saying I'm doing a couple things at once, but I'm definitely just trying to make sure that I'm touching on every base that I think that you guys need to know. I mean, maybe somebody hasn't heard this, and somebody probably come in with a little smart comment. Oh, I know everything you're talking about. I've studied it before. Okay, well, this is not for you. This is for somebody who hasn't thought about that. Everybody's not as old as you or smart as you or has heard this before. You know what I mean? And so this is to inform the community, the prepper side of the community, the people that want to be preppers or the people that thinking about being preppers. And, they think they just need to go buy all their food and stack up the bought food. I mean, if you start now and you're going to be stable for a while, then just go get you some swimming pools, right? And for the folks that, got the smart comments, I'm sorry, this video's not for you. This one's a little different than my other ones. I seem to just kind of be rambling right now. But that's okay, because that's what it's about. And so the purpose of me breaking these grams up is to put about 10 in each, right? And so I can just kind of have them like that. Boom, 10 in each. 10-gram little capsules. Yeah, so I'm not here to talk your ear off, but I am here to just bring awareness to some prepper ideas that you can do, and that's to grow you some fish. Make sure grab price. See how much it's gonna cost. I mean, you can get a pump, you can get all that stuff cheap, 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 cheap. So go check it out. Check out one of those little 4 feet swimming pools. See how much they cost, and just run you some fish. 3. And with that, YouTube, I'm gonna be out of here. Like I say, this video was just to kind of break these up and put these in capsules, and so that's what I'm gonna do. But I hope everybody has a great day. And the purpose of this was to let you know there is a shortage on silver. Buy as much as you can. All right, get you some 20% and 40%. Don't let nobody talk you out of telling you 20%, 40% silver is not good enough and all that. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the naysayers. They don't know what the heck they talking about, right? They probably don't even got no silver. So just keep stacking your silver and don't pay attention to none of them knuckleheads. With that, I hope everybody has a beautiful Memorial's Day. Once again, I just want to touch base and talk about a couple things in this clog system. The U.S. Mint claims there's a silver shortage. So stack. What better time to stack now before the prices continue to get too high? Just buy it up now. Whatever you could buy it up now. All that stuff you got laying around the house you ain't used, have a yard sale. Um, and then go buy you some silver. You know what I mean? Go buy you some silver. Have a yard sale and buy you some silver. All right, Silver Gang. I really appreciate y'all. Make sure that you guys go pick up you some beautiful silver. Look at that sun ray shining. That's beautiful. Pick you up some beautiful silver. And with that, I'm out. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday.